so let's run into the issue that we have. Every September 28th is the World Rabies Day. So we want to talk about rabies. Yes. Rabies, as far as I know, is a deadly but preventable viral disease. It affects both animals as well as humans. I'm told that it spreads mainly through the bite or scratch of an infected animal, most commonly dogs. And once symptoms appear, rabies is almost always fatal. But we need to understand it. They say dog is
man's
best friend.
Even though I do not agree because I don't like dogs. And when you hear rabies, you just need to.
How could you not like dogs?
I just don't like them. I have human best friends. I'm content with that.
See,
now we're talking rabies.
They're always very faithful.
I hear that. But you see, sometimes they're not humans. You know, they're animals and they would remain that. Behave. Please, I'm not a dog hater. The way Prof is looking at me like, look at this girl.
Honestly,
I'm not a dog hater.
You should
it's why I'm very interested in this conversation. For people like you who love dogs.
Yes.
You know, this conversation is one we really should be having. I'm happy to have Prof here to tell us more about rabies.
Yeah, so we have a veterinarian, a professor of companion animal medicare, University of Ibadan. He holds a DVM qualification and PhD from the University of Ibadan, and he has published several papers in peer-reviewed journals. Professor Oludayo Omobowale. Olutayo Omobowale, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Great to have you.
Thanks for having me.
She's Grace Amulu Asheon.
Grace,
yes,
I won't be your friend today.
I deliberately did that.
The way Prof was giving me one side eye.
Hello. So let's get into the conversation, Grace.
Thank you.
So I would like us to talk about what is rabies. This is a word that is very common, but a lot of people do not know the intricacies of it. Can you talk to us about that this morning?
Okay, thank you very much. Rabies is a viral disease of the nervous system, and most commonly it is transmitted by dogs. But it can be transmitted by other animals, bats, ferrets, even rats.
Even rats?
Even rats, if they are infected and you get very close to them. Now, don't let me scare you. We know about rabies. We know about rabies because rabies is usually 100% fatal. We've had only very few cases of people who survived rabies in history. And yearly, there are up to 60,000 human deaths.
60,000?
Up to 60,000 human deaths. Yeah. And because usually people don't survive it, that's the reason why many people get scared. But I can tell you there are so many diseases that can kill, even from the meat you buy from the market.
Right.
Yeah, so you do not have to be afraid of dogs. Hopefully,
I see what you did there, Prof.
Hopefully I'll get you to buy a dog, or I'll get somebody to donate a dog to you.
You can just donate the money to me. I would appreciate that even better.
I guess I want to donate the dog to you.
Okay, now talking about rabies. Rabies is a viral disease. It affects the nervous system. Once it is introduced to the skin through the bite of an infected animal,
right,
or once it gets in contact with an open wound or a mucous membrane like the eye, the mouth, and such sources, the virus travels through the nerves and goes directly to the brain. After some time, the clinical signs of rabies begin to show. In human beings, you see signs like hydrophobia, which means fear of water. Then there is aerophobia, which is fear of blowing air, and so many other nervous signs. Medical doctors will be able to talk more about that.
Right.
And after some time, the human patient can go into coma and die. In animals, especially dogs, rabies can manifest in two forms. The very good one, I'll put it that way in quotes, is the furious form. When you see the furious form, you run away. you run away. Even animals run away from rabid dogs showing the furious form. But the very, very dangerous one is the dumb form. The animal is not showing any signs. It's just showing like signs of paralysis. The animal, maybe an animal that was friendly and active before suddenly becomes very dull. And people don't know that it is already infected. So some people play with such animals and they get infected. Not because of a bite, but exposure to mucous membranes like the eye.
From the animal.
Yeah, I remember like 32 years ago as a vet student, we were in the PM room and my prof kept on saying, you don't come here without your goggles, without your gloves, without your boots.
Right.
Because we could be doing PM on a dead animal that has rabies, and if anything splashes from the animal into the eyes.
Is it communicable? Can a human who is infected pass it on to another human?
Well, that has never been reported.
Okay. The theme is for this year's World Rabies Day is you.
Act now.
Yes,
you, me. The community.
Yes, but there's nothing rabies about it. Now, that focusing on you as stated in the theme, what are the critical actions that pet owners must take, especially to prevent people living in the community, maybe people like Grace, who are not favorably disposed to dogs, to keep them safe.
Yes.
And those who also have the dogs in there.
That's very important.
Yeah, thank you very much. You. That's talking about responsible pet ownership. Several times people come to the clinic, they think rabies vaccination is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Meanwhile, it's supposed to be a yearly thing, especially in countries like Nigeria, where the disease is prevalent.
Right.
Okay? If you have a dog, you're supposed to vaccinate it every year. By the time we have like 75% coverage of vaccination, we'll be very sure of eliminating the disease in our community. But what you see happening is that many people do not vaccinate their dogs. Some people who have dogs, they allow them to roam all over the place without being vaccinated.
Right.
We've seen several cases of rabid dogs, having the furious form. They run from the streets into a compound, bite the dog, and run away.
Bite another dog?
Bite another dog and run away. We've seen several cases like that.
So what really can be done to prevent this kind of situations and protect people like me who don't have anything to do with dogs?
And that's the reason why we talk about responsible pet ownership.
What if pet owners who are not responsible, what is the enforcement that can be put in place for them to become responsible?
And that is where the community comes into the question.
Tell us about that,
now,
Prof.
when we talk about community, we are talking about everybody. We are talking about government, enforcement of laws that have to do with pet welfare.
Laws. That's
enforcement of laws. Normally, when a dog is vaccinated, it's supposed to have a tag. And dogs that do not have such tags are supposed to be destroyed.
Destroyed?
Yes, we use the word destroy. You're supposed to catch them and put them to sleep. I don't want to use the word kill.
But in Nigeria, we hardly even see tagged dogs. I mean, my neighbors have dogs. I don't play
you don't
with them.
No,
I don't. But you see, I cannot even tell if those dogs have ever received any sort of vaccination.
But they are always confined in their
They are not confined, though.
I mean, they are always within the compound.
Not in my compound. So my compound is more restricted. You cannot gain access unless you live in there. But the compound next to mine, where there are dogs, they move around. So when I drive out in the morning, I see them just...
You see them on the streets. That's not good enough.
So what do I do?
Yeah. And that is where enforcement comes into play.
Prof.
Yeah.
What should the community do?
What the community should do. Now, let me start from this. Many people don't even know what the right thing to do is.
Exactly.
What the right thing to do is. By the time you have in your neighborhood, you have dogs roaming all over the place, no evidence of ownership by anybody, such dogs portend danger for the community. And I think the best thing to do is to call upon the appropriate authorities to do something about it. The state government veterinarians could be called upon to see to the, to the capture and destruction of those animals that pose such threats to the community. Some months ago, I was just asking Dr. Bakari. Some months ago, we had an outbreak of rabies in a community in this Ibadan. And many people were infected. When I was serving, there was a dog that the owner refused to vaccinate. And by the time the dog was showing the classical signs of dumb rabies, it had bitten 15 people.
My goodness.
And the owner, that is part of irresponsible pet ownership. The owner, when he brought the dog to the clinic, I was a copper. My boss saw it and said, "Doctor, that's rabies."
Should there be some sort of punishment for that kind of owner?
There should be. There are punishments prescribed in the law, but the problem is these things are usually not enforced. Now, the case I was talking about, when we eventually told the man that we've diagnosed rabies, he should go and get those people beaten, treated. You know what the man told us? He said they had gone to spiritualists and they said, no, it's not rabies.
It's not rabies.
And I can assume that 15 people died.
Hiding under the cloak of spirituality. Look
people,
at that fatality.
Nigerians, especially people in our parts of Nigeria, claim spiritual reasons for several things.
Let's come to SAVAN.
Okay.
What's SAVAN?
Yeah, SAVAN is an acronym for Small Animal Veterinary Association of Nigeria. And what SAVAN does in Nigeria is to ensure that there is high quality small animal clinical care in the country. And not just ensuring that there is high quality small animal care, SAVAN also funds research into small animal welfare, funds research, then outreaches, conferences, just to let people know about how pets are supposed to be kept. Reaching out to pet owners, and also training veterinarians to improve their clinical skills.
I was going to ask what their contribution is to rabies prevention in particular.
SAVAN has been involved in several research works on rabies and dissemination of information.
But the thing is, this information, is it getting to the audience, that is pet owners and even communities? It feels like the information is just high up there, amongst academics and people in that space.
How
would this information get to the people it should get to? Pet owners, pet lovers, communities, and people like me who don't even have any business with pets.
Okay. There's so much there's so much that the mass media can do to help. Of course, people know about rabies in every language. In Yoruba, Digbolugi, in every language, people know about rabies. But some people don't know anything about how it is transmitted and how it can be prevented. For example, when somebody is beaten, what you can do immediately before taking the person to the hospital. We've seen cases in which human beings were beaten and they were rushed to the vet hospital, which is very wrong. As veterinarians, we try our best, but, to inform everybody is the duty of everybody. For example, I believe Sheung and Grace and the management of Splash FM, they can do a jingle that they air maybe for 30 seconds every morning. It will go far as one of the leading radio stations in Nigeria.
I hope someone can sponsor that.
we can work together. We can collaborate.
We can make a collaboration. I have to go for a break. We're going to make an information from SAVAN. Okay. But before that, I want you to begin to think about two things. There are many public health laws that are not enforced. And we need to do advocacy for things like that. That's the first instance. Two is, what do we do when somebody gets a dog bite? What are the immediate things we need to do? Yes, do you want to quickly answer that?
Let me quickly answer that. Please. I was about to talk about that. When somebody is bitten by a dog, suspected to be rabid, even if the dog is not suspected to be rabid, if somebody is bitten by any dog at all, just assume that the dog
It's
as
rabies.
rabies until you know the history of that dog.
Oh, that should be the first assumption.
That should be the first
Let me
assumption.
repeat that. Let me echo that. When somebody is bitten by a dog, assume that that person has been bitten by a rabid dog.
Until you know the history of that dog.
Okay.
And what do? Immediately you get the person to a place where you have running water and wash the bite wound with a lot of water and soap, detergent.
Say it again.
Wash the bite wound with a lot of water, running water and soap.
Okay.
If you have detergent, you can use it. Just wash it.
Okay.
Yeah. To make sure that the virus does not get to the nerve endings.
Okay.
Then immediately after that, do not take the person to a vet hospital. Take the person to a human hospital for treatment.
Did you hear? 3 things, so I'll say it again.
Straight to the point.
The first thing is that when somebody is bitten by a dog, know that you assume that it's a rabid dog that beat the person.
That's right.
Second thing is take the person to a running water immediately and wash with
water and detergent.
Running water and detergent. Wash very well.
Yes.
And after that, immediately, don't take the person to your vet shop.
Or to a spiritualist.
Or to a spiritualist. Not to the church, not to the mosque.
Please take the person to a
hospital. To see a doctor.
Hospital to
see
a
doctor. And explain everything that has happened.
And come clean.
Doctors know what to do from there.
Thank you very much. I will take a break. I'll return shortly. I have somebody I want to thank. But when we return, stay with us.
It's heartbreaking when your dog gets sick, and some dogs' diseases can even spread to you. So, how do you keep your dog happy and healthy? Simple. First, partner with a vet from day one. They will give you all the tips for disease prevention and care. And for 24/7 support, there is Rabies, the AI-powered animal health assistant right at your fingertips. Chat with Rabies, get instant advice anytime. Keep your dog still wagging. Visit www.frontlineagrovet.com or call 0808-389-5126. That is www.frontlineagrovet.com or call 0808-389-5126. This message is brought to you from Frontline Agrovet Services.
Back, he still
Prof has just said something very interesting.
And you'll find it fine. We're trying to convince Grace, and we will. I mean, Professor Omobowale is saying that we'll give you a dog.
I think we should give you the money. But you see, Prof has just said something very interesting that I didn't know before.
Yeah.
So when you have a dog as a dog owner, that the dog sees you as a dog, but just as the leader of the pack, depending on you for everything, just like your child sees you as a human being, but then as they're dependent on you. But you see now, the dog is seeing you as a dog. But what is the dog seeing me that I'm not the owner of us?
Well, the dog, it depends on how you react. If a dog is barking at you and showing signs of aggression and you start running, the dog sees you as prey. And it will run after you.
So what do you do when a dog is barking ferociously? I think you don't run?
As much as possible, don't display any sign of fear and do not run.
In the face of what is that breed you mentioned, Shin?
Alsatian.
Alsatian.
You want Alsatian?
All those dogs that are as tall as a human.
Wild boar.
Alsatians are not such ferocious dogs that are uncontrollable. Of course, there are some breeds that are, they can be very wicked.
But there are some breeds that are very wicked. I mean, there are some that can lock their teeth in you and you will not escape.
I'm not convinced about what Prof and Shewan are trying to do. But let's just continue the conversation.
All right, so let's get to the issue of public health. I'm really, really concerned about public health because there's one issue that we should not just, wave on the side. A community physician is speaking with me and said, I can tell you, Shewan, that we as public health physicians have conducted a couple of awareness programs for the communities. For example, people need to understand what rabies is. The anti-rabies post-exposure regimen. This is a medical doctor who is speaking. So I want you to sensitize the people about, how fatal rabies could be, so we understand it. I mean, the document I was looking at, you said 60,000. That document said 59,000 people die between Africa and Asia every year of rabies. That's huge.
Huge.
That's very huge. So we need to understand it, and the community needs to also understand what they can do, because we have a lot of roaming animals, especially dogs, roaming and causing a lot of frictions between people in the community. So what can we do about it? And also these people that go about with their dogs on the street, say they're walking their dogs,
taking a walk.
This is something that looks like wild animal.
Normally, when you have a dog and you're walking your dog is not your girlfriend or your boyfriend
that you are strolling with.
You stroll, on the road with you. Yeah. On the road with you. Your dog is supposed to be on leash to control.
One,
yes. So your dog is supposed to be on leash when you're walking the dog. That is part of responsible pet ownership.
Right.
Okay. So when we're talking about public health, what does the public need to know? I'm very happy for what the community physician said. As long as all these awareness programs come from researchers, universities, and you don't have the deliberate involvement of government and corporate organizations to take this information to the larger public, the effort might not be well appreciated.
Exactly.
Now, the doctor talked about post-exposure vaccination.
Yes.
We also call it post-exposure prophylaxis. Now, let me start like this. There are so many people who are occupationally exposed, like Dr. Bakari and I. Not just veterinarians, technologists, animal handlers, people working with animals, even in the marketplace. They should receive what we refer to as pre-exposure prophylaxis. The anti-rabies vaccine is given. You don't need it because you are not occupationally exposed. But those who are exposed to animals, any kind of animal, should take that vaccine. Now, for anybody that has been bitten after the initial washing of the wound with water and detergent or soap and cleaning the surface with very strong disinfectant or antiseptic like iodine and stuff like that, the person should go to the hospital and the medical doctors will give a cocktail of vaccines known as post-exposure prophylaxis, post-exposure vaccination. There are so many things they do. The medical doctors know that. Then the other thing is information. Yes, people know that rabies is fatal. It's 100% fatal. Very few people have survived it. And those who survived it, they lived thereafter with neurological, dysfunction.
My goodness.
But many people, especially children, they don't know that when you see a stray dog, a strange dog, do not play with it. Like 3 years ago, I went to pick my son in school, and I saw this young boy. That boy loves animals, and he was carrying a puppy. I knew the danger. I parked. Young man, he was now telling me how beautiful, how cute the puppy looked and everything. I said, I did a quick education. So he understood. He dropped the puppy. Nobody knew where the puppy came from, where it escaped from. But something in the curriculum of primary school students
should also expose them to that.
To teach them.
Yes.
And it will be with them for a long time.
It will be with them forever.
Yes, because they know that this is dangerous. There's danger in this. Let's quickly go for this break and return shortly.
Okay.
It's heartbreaking when your dog gets sick, and some dogs' diseases can even spread to you. So, how do you keep your dog happy and healthy? Simple. First, partner with a vet from day one. They will give you all the tips for disease prevention and care. And for 24/7 support, there is Rabies, the AI-powered animal health assistant right at your fingertips. Chat with Rabies, get instant advice anytime. Keep your dog still wagging. Visit www.frontlineagrovet.com or call 0808-389-5126. That is www.frontlineagrovet.com or call 0808-389-5126. This message is brought to you from Frontline Agrovet Services.
I mean, like Grace said, this is a conversation that should continue.
Yes,
I mean,
it should go to the communities.
To talk more about this. A lot of things that people should know.
And like Prof even recommended that it should be in the curriculum of primary schools, even secondary schools.
Exactly.
I totally support that.
As a child, we only knew about dogs and the bulugi. Rabies.
Yes.
But what do we do to prevent it?
And some people even know rabies, but they do not know the fatality of it.
Yeah.
You mentioned that the very slim percent of people who survive it, they don't live normal after that.
They don't.
Neurologically.
They don't.
So these are the things people need to know. Children need to know, adults alike. They need to be carried along in this conversation.
And in any community where there are stray dogs, dogs just walking around all over the place, members of that community should take the step of getting those dogs to their owners, if they can be identified, or getting the dogs, captured and destroyed.
So your final take before we leave.
Yeah, the fight against rabies is a fight that everybody must be involved with. Rabies leaves no chance for survival. We used to say this when we were in school, there was this anti-rabies campaign. And we tell people, make sure you vaccinate your dog. Because if any human being contracts HIV today, the person can survive with the appropriate medications. But with rabies, once the clinical signs begin to show, that is the end.
With HIV, the person can even live a normal life.
Yeah.
So please, gentlemen, ladies, wherever you are listening to us, this is classic information that you need to take care of. Thank you, Professor Olutayo Omobowale.
Wonderful conversation. Thank you, Prof.
You're welcome.
As a veterinarian and a professor of companion animal medical care, University of Ibadan, and I promised to get a dog to
yes. We should leave me alone. I'm not at home.
We want to also thank Dr. Bakari. Dr. Bakari, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr.
for facilitating these. My name is Oluwaseun Omoakinola. We're Nigeria, and Nigerians survive.